Good evening, everyone, and welcome to day 3 of our 5-day new ambassador training blitz. Okay, so you guys, we have talked about your why, we have talked about your list, we've talked about your goals, and I hope that you're catching a little bit of a rhythm here with what I'm doing with your homework. First of all, we're using your 3-2-1 sheet, your income producing activity sheet every day. And in addition, I'm having you watch a video. Did you see that third column on the sheet, which refers to personal growth? Another way of saying our 3-2-1 system is 3-2-1 plus 1. And what that plus 1 stands for is that extra column where you can be investing a few minutes in yourself every day by watching a training video or a motivational video or something to do with your personal growth. That little affirmations and that little checkbox at the top right-hand corner is to remind you to say those positive things to yourself every day. Write them out somewhere and have them so that you can reprogram your mind for success. And that's a whole other conversation. But so far we've talked about your why and your goals, and we've talked about what to do with that number 3 on your form. Let's talk about what to do with the number 2 on your 3-2-1 form. So follow-up is really, really important. Following up with the potentials. You've reached out to potentials. You've found people that have expressed interest, but don't leave them hanging, because follow-up is just so incredibly important. I want to show you guys this graphic real quick here. Here are some sales statistics. 48% of salespeople never follow through with a prospect. 25% of salespeople make a second contact and stop. 12% of salespeople only make 3 contacts and stop. Now, why is that a problem? Only 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts. Here's why that's a problem. Because 2% of sales are made in the first contact, 3% of sales are made in the second contact, 5% of sales are made on the third contact, 10% of sales are made on the fourth contact, and 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. So here's why you want to follow up with people, because unless someone has tasted Plexus and realized what it can do for them, it's not in the front of their brains like it is ours. For us, it's a priority. We think about it every day. We're sharing it and we're excited about it. But for people who haven't tried it yet, it's not a priority. I know it wasn't for me. It was like, oh, I should really try that someday, but I wasn't thinking about it every day. And so Lizzie following up with me made such a difference. So how do you follow up? You can check in with people to see if they have any questions. You can check in with them when the company has any specials going on. My favorite is to check in with a testimonial. If the person is struggling with rheumatoid arthritis, go search for a testimony that has to do with their exact condition and follow up by copying and pasting that testimony and sending it to them in a private message. So I want to show you today how to follow up, how to search for testimonies. All right, so here's my Facebook, right? See up here, this search Facebook? Well, what I'm going to do here is I'm looking for a testimony on depression. So I'm going to type in here, depression, space, Plexus, and just hit enter. And as you will see, all sorts of testimonies and things about Plexus and diabetes, not diabetes, depression come up. So I'm going to just find one that I like. Oh, this looks like a good one. Let me read it. Great. Okay, so I'm just going to copy and paste that, and I'm going to send it in a private message to that person with a little note that says, hey, I was thinking of you and wanted to share this story with you. Do you have any questions for me? Now, here's another way to find testimonies. I love that way because there's so many at once. But you should be part of several testimony groups. Here's one, Plexus Journeys. It's for ambassadors only. And then there's also a Healthy Pink Perspective. And there's also Plexus What's Your Story. Now I'm going to take you to Plexus What's Your Story really quick and just click on that. And when you go to a group, there's this little box over here that says search this group. So I'm just going to put depression in there, hit enter, and voila. There are all sorts of testimonies that mention depression. So that's another great way to find stories. Now, on a healthy pink perspective, you should also be on a healthy pink perspective. You can search the same exact way, but here's an additional way. You see here the photos, click on photos, and in a healthy pink perspective, they are separated by topic. So let's say, what kind of, okay, I want one on acid reflux. I'm going to go over here to acid reflux, and I'm going to go here and look in the comments, and there are all sorts of stories here in the comments about acid reflux. Another cool thing about this page and Plexus What's Your Story is you could add your interests with their permission to this. And I'm just going to go down here and I'm going to tag Kyla in this. Be like, hey, Kyla. Of course, I'm not going to do this for real. Thinking of you. Look at these testimonies in the comments above. And that way they can go there and look at the testimonies that way too. Okay, so following up with people is really, really important. And I have a special form for you guys that makes this really easy. Go to Plexus Ambassadors of Hope in the files, and you will see my follow-up sheet. It's in the top, I'm going to say top 5 files. And it has a place where you can fill out their name, how you met them, the date that you met them or contacted them about Plexus, and then whether they're an interest, a retail customer, preferred customer, or ambassador. There's a box to write in their contact information, a box to write their health issues so you don't forget, a box where you can check whether you've asked and added them to a Healthy Pink Perspective and Plexus What's Your Story, a spot for notes if there's anything else you want to remember, a little box to check whether they're interested in the business or not, and then this spot down here is really helpful. This is my favorite. There's the date and follow up. So every time you follow up with them, you write the date and what you sent them so that it's really easy to just be on track. Then what I do is I have a binder. And in my binder, I have dividers 1 through 35. I'm not sure if you can see this, but you can get these at office supply stores. 1 through 31, excuse me, 1 through 31. One for each day of the month. So let's say today's the 25th and I meet somebody today and I come home, or let's say I send a message and they said that they were interested. You know, I reached out to somebody and they said they're interested in more information. Well, then I'm going to fill out a form on them. I'm going to put their name and all the information they've given to me. And I'm going to put that under today because I did it today. Then when I open my binder tomorrow to work on my power hour, I'm going to go back to today, to the previous day, and just go through and see, okay, where do I want to put this next? Let's see. She expressed a lot of interest. She was really excited. I'm going to get back with her in 3 days, and I'm going to share another testimonial with her. Or she didn't seem really interested. I mean, she didn't seem really excited, but yes, she was interested. I'm going to get back with her in 3 days, maybe. But then the next time, you know, I might put it 7 days or 2 weeks. You just kind of get to gauge when you want to follow up with that person next. But just do it consistently. And let's say I'm like, okay, let's see, I want to reach back with her in 3 days. I'm going to put it under the 28 tab. So then on the 28th, just open my binder and I know who to follow up with. So following up becomes really, really simple and predictable that way. I should count, but I probably have a couple hundred follow-up sheets, maybe 100. I don't know. It's a lot. And there is absolutely no way I could keep that many people on the top of my head or keep track of them if I did not have them written down like that. So that makes it easier for me. Okay, so we have talked about following up. We've talked about your 1 through 31 dividers. I highly recommend getting those and putting them in a binder. Let's talk about Facebook posting. That's the middle column on your IPA tracker. Facebook posting is amazing. Not only does it help with follow-up, because if people that you've told about Plexus are on Facebook and they're seeing your posts, but it also is a great way to reach new people. So many of my interests have been people that have actually reached out to me and said, hey, what's this stuff you're talking about? Or I'm dealing with this. Do you think it would help? I had a girl contact me yesterday, tell me that her husband is cranky pants and he could probably say the same about her. And she asked if my magic pill could help. And it's actually somebody I've been wanting to tell more about Plexus. So it was awesome. I'm just, you know, so many people contacted me. So on that form, you will see that you want. On the second page of the form, it'll give you some ideas of what to post. Post regularly about plexus, and watch the video about plexus posting that I'm going to attach on our assignment today. Tell me 3 things that stood out to you, and tell me the 3 things that you want to promote with your plexus posting. Also, watch a Les Brown video. I'm going to post a suggestion here in the assignment. But what I'm trying to get you all in the habit of doing is every day watching a training or an inspirational video, because when you're finished this course, you'll still want to keep investing in yourself. So every day, try to find a few minutes to squeeze in and watch something that will inspire you. Today I want it to be a Les Brown video because they're awesome. They're really inspiring. Okay, so we talked about your why. We've talked about making a list. Today we've talked a little bit about Facebook posting, and you're going to watch a video on that. We've talked about how to follow up with people, and we've talked a little bit about personal growth. I'm so excited to see your assignment, and you guys are learning so much. Thank you for being part of this, and I'm so excited for you to learn and keep sharing. This team is growing, and we are Plexus Ambassadors of Hope. It's so exciting.